respect. We're going to support our police department, but yet we are going to be committed that individuals who do bad things, who don't respect, serve, and protect, will no longer be members of our police department.
And then, Chief, is there anything else you can tell us about the other party in this case?
Specifically, what are you looking for when you mean the other party?
The
victim.
People involved in the incident, or person.
What I can tell you is the subject of this particular incident was mistakenly identified and was not the person that they were looking for as far as the person who actually had the warrant out for their arrest. I guess that's the best answer I can give you. Three things I want to make sure we discuss before we end this press conference is the first thing is I want to make sure people understand that the system works. Sometimes we hear about people being concerned about police being able to hold their own accountable. We received this information. This information came to us by a review of protocols that are being put in place for use of force. The lieutenant reviewed the body-worn camera video and immediately started contacting the people that needed to be contacted, and Internal Affairs was contacted, and the former department personnel were immediately placed on administrative leave while this investigation was conducted. This investigation was conducted in a fair and just way and resulted in what I felt was the appropriate level of discipline for this matter. The second thing I want to make sure people are very clear about is the policies work. We have policies and procedures in place, not only as guidelines for members of our employees, but also to be able to hold them accountable. You're looking at two members, one who was sustained on 3 department policy violations, another one who was sustained on 7 department policy violations. We didn't have to search to find policies that governed their activities. We already have policies in place. And then the third really important thing is, we have a DA who was willing to make sure that she's doing a complete and thorough review of this matter and is not putting it on the shelf somewhere and is not shying away from this. So I think it's very important for people to understand the system worked, the policies work, and the DA's office was not shy about stepping up and taking a look at this.
Chief, one more question. Was this a individual failure between those 2 officers, or was this a departmental failure on the side of training?
I believe it was an individual failure by these 2 individuals. The department policies were in place. The department policies were very clear. It was very clear to these individuals that they violated those department policies. So I believe this was an individual failure, not a department failure, and not a policy.
Just really quick also.
Yes. I'll remember to take off the mask this time.
With the offenses these 2 officers are facing, what are we looking at in terms of a penalty that they could face should a grand jury indict? What kind of weight do these?
At this point, I can't answer that question. I know that I have reviewed the body cam, I've received statements. I know that I will receive more information from the police department and that we've assigned it. Greg McConnell, my chief assistant, and I will personally handle this case. When we receive everything, we will prepare and draft an indictment. At that point, depending on what the grand jury's decision is, it will be filed with the clerk in an open court. So you will be able to get access to them.
Is the city expecting a lawsuit over this matter?
I'm sorry?
Is the city expecting a lawsuit over this?
That question would have to be answered by either the city parties on the county here.
That's the city attorney. We don't know. We're sued every day about everything. So we'll address that when it comes to us, if it comes to us.
Was the person that they were responding to the wrong person? Were they arrested in this incident? Were they brought into the jail?
No, they were not transported to the jail.
Okay. But were they arrested and charged?
They were placed in custody. They were not formally charged with crime.
Okay.
Was the person that was the subject of the warrant, were they eventually?
Yes.